你不要拍我啊！那你拍你自己。那我跟你说，我为什么要我的男朋友付我的钱？中国人都很重男轻女，你知道这个意思吗？
他可以，他的收入更高。
是各方面的，不只是收入，还有他的地位、他的影响力，就是各种方面。男性在中国社会的生活更容易，他们工作机会更容易。
那可以，但是比如说你们吃饭是100块，他可以付65块，你可以付35块，那个就是公平的。肯定男人有好处，但是多少好处？100%是太多。
那你听我说，还有就是，比如说一对中国的夫妻，他们在一起生活很多年，比如说他们在40岁的时候，他们离婚了。40岁离婚，那么男人他还可以很容易的再去找到一个新的老婆，但是女人因为她的年龄和她的性别，她会受到歧视。
但是你说的结婚的时候，没结婚的时候没有这个数字。如果我知道他的收入是4000一月，我知道我的收入更高，就是我就会付他的钱。因为
你的意思是，如
果我知道他是穷的，
你的收入要比他高，你才会付他的钱。
是的，但是如果他的收入跟我一样，我为什么要付他的东西？
是因为现在跟你 dating 的中国女人，她花了她的时间，因为在中国社会，就是女人就是被社会上认为她最宝贵的就是她的 younger，就是她还年轻的那段时间，所以她跟一个男人谈恋爱，她就会希望是男的来。
我操！
看所有的钱，在男人和女人方面，美国要更公平一点，所以你们不会有这个观念。但是在中国，因为男生女生很不平等，所以女生需要这样。
你有这么漂亮一个老婆在这里，多幸福！
我幸福又幸苦。只有中国有情人节，有七夕节，还有520，还有生日，结婚什么纪念日，见面的纪念日，
对，
我赚什么钱呢？
你赚的钱就是给他用的呀。
给他用的。那我呢？
没有这些日子，你哪有动力赚钱？
我动力的赚钱就是给他。那我生活的意义是什么？
你生活的意义就是为了让他过得更幸福啊。
他幸福，我幸福。
他幸福，你也快乐呀。
我不快乐，我都没钱了，都给他花了，我怎么幸福？
那不一样的，他带给你的情绪价值远远比你那些钱快乐吧。你抱着钱，你有情绪价值吗？
那我没事，我可以给他情绪价值，真的。
那可不行，在中国可不行。女孩子需要这些的情绪价值，知道吧？
在国外，你给他一朵求婚的时候，他们都不要戒指，不用彩礼。你给他一朵花，他开开心心的要死。
你不是在中国长大吗？
中国的女生怎么那么幸福？我们520是不是过了
？520过了，但七夕还没过呀。
情人节是不是过了？还有七夕节，还有什么别的节日？521也是一个节日。
521是他给你的节日。
他没有给我一个接吻，
他给你一个吻，吻可以代表所有一切。
接吻
啊，你开心不啊？
我含辛茹苦1年工作，我就为了一个接吻，我以为今年就结束了，我银行卡在哭。还好七夕节我今晚就出差了。不要过七夕节好不好？我是老外，你要过七夕节你去找中国男人。
有多少女孩认为谈恋爱吃饭就该男人买单
？How many girls today think that when dating, men should pay for meals, and that getting married and having children means carrying on the man's family line? If you encounter this kind of talk during matchmaking, run immediately, you won't be wrong. Today, a girl from Guangzhou came to me and said that her boyfriend had a big argument with her over a trivial matter and is now ignoring her. I asked what happened. The girl said that a few days ago, the two of them went out to eat on a date, and after the meal, she dragged her boyfriend to stroll around the pedestrian street, then saw a bracelet she wanted to buy for her mother. It wasn't expensive, just over 1,000 yuan, and the boy paid without hesitation. After that, he asked the girl, "How about you buy one for my mom too? My mom knows we're together today, and if I bring it home, my mom will be happy too." The girl refused without even thinking, and thought to herself, if I buy it now, it will look like I'm throwing myself at the guy, and then how would I have any status after marrying into his family? The boy said you can buy anything, no matter the price, it's the thought that counts, and if my mom helps take care of our child in the future, she will definitely be happy and more proactive. The girl didn't know what went wrong in her head and snapped back directly. Stop feeding me empty promises. I'm giving your family children to carry on your family line. Isn't your mom taking care of her grandson only natural? Don't be a mama's boy. The boy was instantly stunned and said with a dark face, do you have even a bit of respect? Every holiday you come empty-handed, and my mom still gives you red envelopes anyway. When have our family ever nitpicked over money with you? So the two of them argued fiercely on the street, and in the end they parted on bad terms. The girl complained to me, saying they hadn't even been together for a year and he had already changed, and that men are unreliable. I said, then for your daily meals and living expenses, who pays more? The girl said it's okay, isn't dating always paid for by men anyway? She said it has always been like this for her. With this kind of boyfriend, you're actually still not satisfied? He pays when you eat out, he pays when you buy jewelry for your mother, so how does having children suddenly become you carrying on their family line? Isn't this a typical case of shouting gender equality every day, but in reality still demanding ladies first? If you were willing to spend 300 or 500 yuan to buy his mom a birthday gift, the man wouldn't get angry at all and would even give you 3,000 or 5,000 yuan in return. I really don't understand some people. You say you're carrying on someone else's family line, but isn't the child also yours? Also, there is no law that says men must pay for everything throughout dating. Mutual consent is fine, but now the other person is no longer willing to endure it, so what can you do? Partners should be considerate of each other and know how to be grateful, otherwise who would be willing to keep taking losses? Don't escalate everything into calling someone a mama's boy. You've watched too much Toxic Chicken Soup. If you ask him to buy a bracelet for your mother, wouldn't that make you a mama's girl?
一旦你开始谈恋爱，想要和你的恋人走向长久，在感情当中获得幸福和快乐。
Once you start dating and want to go long-term with your partner, to gain happiness and joy in a relationship, to have the other person spoil you and give to you, the first thing you must do is quit the toxic chicken soup on the internet. If you're purely trying to indulge yourself and don't take your partner seriously, then pretend I said nothing. There's a saying that goes like this: a man who truly loves you will prepare gifts for you and transfer money to you. This statement has actually turned many originally rational girls into giant babies, who only know how to morally blackmail others. From a man's perspective, let me tell you why men are willing to give to their partners and spend money on them. Apart from liking and loving them, it's also because of certain traits and values that the woman possesses. What has this woman done for me? For example, in the early stages of a relationship, if the woman proactively buys the man some clothes, pants, or other small gifts, then the man will feel that he should give more to her. This giving may exceed the value of the small gift by several times, or even more than 10 times. That's because most men don't care how expensive the gift is, but whether they can feel the woman's affection through those gifts. Therefore, in relationships, we shouldn't use love as a tool for moral coercion, thinking that if someone loves you, they must give to you. Instead, while loving each other, we should also understand value exchange and mutual effort. After all, everyone is human, right? Just like the videos we see online, where men serve women tea, bring water, wash their feet, cook, and take care of everything. These videos really affect many girls' judgments about relationships, making them think men should do all of this. But what we need to be clear about is that many of these videos are just toxic chicken soup. You don't know how they mutually give in real life, or how they truly support each other. Do they have any fault? Not really. Everyone is just trying to make a living. But we must distinguish clearly that we can't use this toxic chicken soup as the standard for evaluating our partners. That's unfair. There's also another saying, that someone who truly loves you will tolerate everything about you. This can easily turn a woman into a giant baby, and condition a man into a saint. Because once you believe this aligns perfectly with your values, a very bad phenomenon will occur in your relationship. Once the other person stops comforting you or stops acting according to your wishes, you will endlessly cause trouble, thinking they don't love you anymore and threatening to break up. We must understand that in this world, no one is born to serve anyone else, and no one has the obligation to unconditionally tolerate you or treat you well. Since you chose each other as partners, what you should learn is mutual tolerance and mutual understanding, rather than using others' viewpoints to measure your partner. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and we shouldn't endlessly magnify each other's flaws, but instead focus on their strengths, offering encouragement and praise, so that your relationship can become sweeter. If there's something on your mind, you must tell the other person directly. Don't assume that if they love you, they'll automatically understand. That's bullshit. Some things really can't be guessed. Guessing occasionally may add sweetness to your relationship, but doing it constantly will exhaust anyone, right? At that time, you will feel that they don't love you anymore, and then it will be a big problem. Right? Whether it's dating or marriage, it all eventually returns to reality. Instead of focusing all your energy on thinking that if someone loves you, they must do this or that, you might as well look at whether your partner has ambition, has a sense of responsibility, and how the two of you can lay a solid foundation for the future.
这种抠门的男人啊，千万不能要。
Sisters, stingy men, you absolutely must not choose them. I'll tell you why in 2 points. First, a man who truly loves a woman can't help but want to buy things for her. Men may take from women emotionally and physically, but materially, they must want to give. If he's stingy with you, that only proves that the saying he loves you is false. No need to doubt it. Men all over the world understand one truth: getting along with women requires spending some money. You must understand that for adults, the most direct way to express love and gratitude is spending money. Second, don't expect this kind of man to become generous over time or to give more as you stay together longer. It won't happen. You need to understand that adults' consumption habits and ways of thinking are impossible to change. Someone who is generous at the beginning won't mistreat you later, but a stingy person will never become more generous in their lifetime, understand?
如何看待情侣间的开销，比如说出去玩、旅行、住酒店的开销问题上。
How should we view spending between couples, such as expenses for traveling, going out, and staying in hotels? I want to share a few things. After listening to my experience, you may have your own answers. I previously had a relationship where my ex-boyfriend and I were basically splitting everything evenly. How extreme was it? He bought me a plane ticket, and I transferred the plane ticket money back to him. At that time, I thought I was a modern woman, and when dating, I absolutely shouldn't take advantage of someone financially. My mom said I was unbelievably foolish, but at that time I didn't understand why she kept saying I was unbelievably foolish. Later, through my interactions with him, I gradually discovered that being stingy with money was not his main problem, and that splitting costs was not a big problem at all. The key is that people who are stingy with money are often not generous in life either. It wasn't until later, when I dated my husband, that I realized what true generosity looked like. At that time, my husband and I weren't dating yet, we were just ordinary friends, and he couldn't accept AA. Not only with me, but with all the female friends around him, he couldn't accept AA. He believed that going out and doing things should never involve letting women spend money. This mindset guided his actions, and in life, he was generous in all aspects. Let's not talk about the past, let's talk about recently. Some time ago, my grandfather was hospitalized. When I found out, I was extremely anxious. But you know, as elderly people get older, it involves the issue of who will take care of them. At that time, because of this matter, there might have been some disputes and unhappiness in my family. I said we could use my grandfather's pension to hire a cooking auntie that would be completely enough, and then I would cover his meals and daily grocery and cooking expenses, and we would give my grandfather an extra subsidy of 2,000 yuan per month. I told this idea to my father and my older brother. They disagreed, saying how could a granddaughter pay money to support an elder, and that it would sound bad if word got out. I said there was no need to tell outsiders that it was my money. I didn't want the reputation, I just wanted my grandfather's daily life to be more comfortable. Because he is truly very old, and when elderly people get sick and go to the hospital, it's truly miserable, truly miserable. I just wanted my grandfather to feel more at ease. That evening, when I was taking a walk with my husband, I told him about it. I said I wanted to give my grandfather 2,000 yuan every month, to be used for groceries and cooking. He also strongly supported this sense of filial piety, and felt that as a granddaughter, having this kind of heart was a very, very good thing. Neither of us comes from wealthy families, we're ordinary people, we earn only that much money each month, a few thousand yuan a month, and over a year that is tens of thousands. I also buy supplements for my grandfather, so over a year, it is true that we also spend a lot of money on our own family. If my husband were not a generous and broad-minded person, he might think that I was spending our shared marital property, he might not agree, and the two of us might end up unhappy because of this matter. And in life, there are many, many similar situations and similar frictions like this. Another point is that whether you choose a stingy man or a generous man, after marriage, there will be moments of regret. It may be just a brief moment, and regardless of gender, during an argument you might think, how did I end up marrying someone like this? Even now, actually, my feelings for my husband are not the same as when we first got married, but even so, in daily life, I am still attracted by his generosity. This quality can offset many of life's frictions. Most importantly, if you can meet a generous and sincere man, there's a high probability that his family will be the same.
Why are men unwilling to spend money in relationships and unwilling to pay? The reason is actually very simple. Dating once can spend all the money, or you could say dating once can spend half of the savings. If you date again later, how are you supposed to get married? Can you afford it? How long would you have to save before daring to enter another relationship aimed at marriage? And whether you break up or whether you can make it to the end, who can know in advance? Which woman would dare to stand up and say, "Don't worry, I will definitely marry you. I will definitely marry you. You could just spend money on me without concern." Who would dare say that, right? You wouldn't either. And yet you keep complaining that I'm stingy and won't spend money on you. I'm asking you. Isn't it this kind of logic? If a man is indeed very generous in spending money on a woman, then does that mean you won't argue and you won't be incompatible? Does that mean you won't break up? If a woman wants to break up, how could she possibly lack reasons? Even if I'm very willing to spend money on you, you can say I have a bad temper, unstable emotions, you can say I'm a mama's boy. As long as you want to break up with me, how could you not have other excuses? After a breakup, would you return the designer bags worth tens of thousands that he bought for you? After a breakup, would you return the phone worth over 10,000 yuan that he bought for you? After a breakup, would you return the transfers he made to you in the past? At that time, if a man asks the woman for these things, he will definitely be cursed at. Please don't always take the overbearing CEO falls in love with me script from TV dramas and apply it to ordinary men in modern society. Okay, many women really fail to recognize a reality, always thinking that once this man is dating me, you must bear all the expenses. And most of the stingy men in the mouths of most women, he indeed is the kind of person who is extremely frugal. Why? Because some men truly don't have much money, and shared consumption between two people already puts great pressure on him, not to mention having to give women various gifts. So in women's eyes, he is the kind of stingy man who doesn't spend a single cent. For women, shared consumption doesn't count as money spent on them. But if you ask women to bear shared consumption, then they will say you are a kept man. Only when you buy expensive things for them and transfer money will they believe that the money is spent on them. So when men are unwilling to spend money in relationships, in many cases, it also has something to do with the woman, because the woman herself is not that generous either. Therefore, women who call men stingy, they themselves are not generous either.